We interrupt our program to bring you this important message from the COI.
If you see a bunch of these people coming from a country that is in dangerous right now, that has been blocked by the Turks and Caicos, who is experiencing a crime wave because of them, who is now blocked by America, if we as Bahamians see our flag carrier being used to bring these people in, and other carriers, it's not just Bahamas Air, every day they're coming in, that Bahamians shouldn't say nothing.
Your evil, manipulative, wicked ways will not triumph over this nation.
Our country's under invasion. We can fix that. Dude deported out of the country, and then the next day, he fell, approve a work permit for him. This is the kind of nonsense that's going on in this country. That's why America has a problem. 20% or less of that is actual Bahamians. So we're being outnumbered by birth and by persons flooding into our country. And Bahamians are sitting back and letting Tintard and Brave Davis sell this country out. This is the last election we're going to have the majority. Unite, Bahamians, unite! If you are afraid to stand up and fight for this country, you are going to lose it.
Definitely welcome every one of you to this great and auspicious occasion. COI ain't playing. Tell somebody we're getting stronger every day.
If we still call ourselves a Christian nation, we have to let us desperately pray and seek God's vision for this great Bahama land.
Today is a very special day for the Coalition of Independence. Every day is a day we are creating history within this organization and this country.
I am overwhelmed. I can't believe 1 year from my started to now, I'm here.
So may we continue to trust in God, and may God continue to bless the Bahamas.
So come go with me. We're going to the new Bahamas. Hi.
With the people, and the people have said they tired. They have said they're ready for change.
We just want to congratulate you on opening of your new office.
Enthusiastic about living in South Beach and helping to make the change in South Beach, because change ain't coming, change is here.
Change is here! Change is here! Change is here!
They coming for our land, they coming for our money, they coming for our nationality, they taking away our sovereignty. But now it seems like they want to take away our voices. Do not let them take away your voice. So Fred Mitchell can call us all the idiots he wants. We will push forward. See, the problem with you, Fred Mitchell, you ain't used to people standing up to you and putting you in your place. Meet the Coalition of Independence. Louis George, what you need to do, you need to go back to Haiti and you need to sit up and look at what hate is. You need to look at what real fear-mongering is.
You see everything working out in their favor. They are taking all of our services and taking it to Shantytown to cater to them. We are saying this almost on a daily basis. These are people getting citizenship with the aid of the government. And these kinds of actions are causing it hard for Bahamians.
I'm about Brave Davis, Prime Minister, who pepper ici. Dans les Samadula, votez, register pour Brave Davis. Passez avec Brave Davis, now les net. It's better under the PLP, and it's getting better. The Bahamas, you all know.
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because you are me and I am you.
Yes, sir.
and I'll be here with you always. I don't call you all, no, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later.
Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Bahamas. We are back at the Empowerment Center here in Nassau, Bahamas. And we're here with some of the Coalition of Independence candidates for this upcoming election. We're so excited. We listened to what you said. You said we want to see the candidates, and we're providing the candidates so you can see the intelligent people that we put out there, just regular people like you and I, but who have vision for this nation and vision to move us forward into the new Bahamas. And so we have a lot of segments coming up, a lot of exciting segments coming up. We have people who are going to be online. Some of the candidates are not in-house. We have a lot in-house, but some are going to be online, and you're going to hear from them and hear what's going on in the country. Now, today we are grading the PLP. We are grading the PLP on their performance for the last 4 years. We gave them 4 years, now we're going to grade them. I don't know if we're grading on a curve or we're going to just grade straight up, but we're going to do some grading today. It's very exciting, and before we start all of that wonderful stuff, I want to allow the candidates that are here with me to introduce themselves. Oh, before I go on, my name is Aisha Claire, and I am your host again for today. And before the candidates introduce themselves, I'm going to pass it to Mr. Bain, who's going to talk a little bit about what's going on, not just only in the Bahamas, but in the world. We had a lot of shaking up going on in the world, and he's going to speak on that for a minute. Mr. Bain?
Thank you, Aisha, and it's always good to be here, and thank you for everyone who's in the live studio audience. Give yourself a round of applause. All right, we need energy today, so this the beaten meeting, this report card day. It's been 4 years since the Progressive Labour Party has been in office, officially 4 years. And so we're going to determine what those 4 years have been like. We are going to let them know what this 4 years have been like. All right? And so our candidates are going to do that. But of course, at the end of this, you're also going to be able to give your input. All right? So just stay with us because it's been a long 4 years. So this could be a long one today because we got to talk about some things. Because some people forget some things. But we got to remind them about some things today. All right? And at the end of all of this, of grading them on each of these ministries, we are going to go over the top 100 scandals of the Davis administration.
Wow.
And we had to cut it down to 100 so that it could fit in one show. But this has turned out to be the most scandalous administration in the history of the Bahamas. Even more scandalous than the first PLP had lost their way with Joe Leader and the Medellin cartel. More scandalous than any other administration. And we are going to take you on a ride through time from 2021 to 2025. The top 100 scandals of this PLP government. But before we get to that, you know, something major happened in the world, and I just want to mention it. Well, first here in the Bahamas, I just want to give my sympathies to persons in the Eastern District who suffered a lot of damage. Your house is your biggest investment, and a lot of people received damage to their homes, lost roofs, etc., because of a tornado that hit this country. A major tornado hit this country, and we're taking that lightly. I think one of the things we need to realize is that, you know, in the police force, they always had this saying, ain't nothing happen until something happens. It's like you're never prepared, and you ain't worried about nothing until something happens. And so we need to be more proactive. We should have a warning system. I'm sure that the meteorology department saw the storm, or they saw the conditions that would lead to a storm. And I've been in other countries, in the US and in England and Canada, other places. If they see certain conditions, they're going to send out a warning.
Yeah.
And so people should have been warned so that they could have protected themselves. You know, one woman said she was in a trailer and the storm just came out of nowhere. She didn't know what to do. She should have had some warning so she knows to get out of that trailer and get to safety. These are the kinds of things that we want to do. And this is why we're grading them today. And of course, we're going to give you suggestions too as we're grading them. But we need a proper warning system. Every phone company has a warning system, an emergency alert system. Every phone company, and that's what they're using for the Marco Archer alerts. They could have done the same thing to warn you that if you're in the Eastern District, and it has what they call geofencing, so that warning can only go out to people in the Eastern District who it doesn't annoy everyone. It could have only go out to them. But it should go to the whole country so that you would know that if you have an elderly person or a family member or whoever in that district, that you will know to look out for them or check for them. All right? So these are things that can be done in the 21st century Bahamas. If you have a government that is thinking about the issues of this country and not just thinking about how they could make money and tax you for it. All right? And so I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to mention something that's happening on the world scale right now, and that is there was a political assassination of a young man called Charlie Kirk. He was a very intelligent young man who reminds me of myself when I was his age. Very intelligent. He can talk to you on any manner of subjects, but he loves God. If you're talking about him, you end up talking about God at some point in that conversation. He reminds me a lot of myself, and he wasn't ashamed. And he grew up in an era where it's a shame to talk about God in America, in schools, etc. They put all that stuff to the side, but he stood up, and he became more and more popular by dealing with these issues. Now, there are some people who don't agree with a lot of what he has to say, but that's not the issue here. The issue here is he started something that no one else has ever done. He started going to college campuses and having conversations with young people to get them more involved in their country and politics, etc., and what they believe in, to have the discussions. And so even if you disagree with him, he would have dialogue. And this is what we should have in the world. We should have dialogue with each other. You should be able to state your piece and I state my piece. And that is what he did. That's what he encouraged. And so even though I didn't agree with 100% of the things that he said, I agreed with a lot of the things he said, what he did was different. Normally when people have a stance, they don't want to hear your stance. And they'll never give you a platform for your stance. In fact, you've seen for the first several years of this administration, I was banned from all radio stations. All right? And they pretended we don't exist. They were afraid to even call our names. And that's how despotic people think. That's how evil people think, because they just want you to hear their opinion. But what Charlie Kirk did, and what he will be remembered for, is he would his thing was called Prove Me Wrong. Yeah. All right? I want to hear from you. And when you come to his sessions, the people who support him start cutting him off. He say, no, be respectful, don't cut them off. And he would let them talk, even if he didn't agree with them. And that's what it was about. And so he had issues like abortion. He didn't agree with abortion. All right? He didn't even agree with Trump on abortion, because Trump said, listen, let the state decide. He just don't agree with abortion. But he would let you state your piece. State why you agree with it, and I'll state why I don't agree with it, and then that's it. All right? No one wins, no one loses, but let's have the discussion so we have an intellectual discussion about it. Let's think about it. Let's not just say this is my stance and I'm not hearing from anybody else. That's what it really should be. I too don't believe in abortion. My mother told me she tried to abort me. She tried everything and it didn't work. For some reason, she wasn't able to abort me. I don't agree with abortion. And there are many people whose lives I think I've been able to impact, that their lives would not have been impacted by me had I been aborted. And that's my personal stance. All right? Some people believe in it, that's on them. You know? My grandmother was by my grandfather when she was 16 years old. And she could have aborted the baby, which would have been my mother. But in the end, she didn't. And she turned the baby over to her sister. And her sister raised my mother. That was a rape situation. She always had turmoil with my mother because she would always remember the circumstance. But I'm glad she didn't abort my mother. Aren't you glad? Yes. And so, I don't drink alcohol, but if I'm with people and they drink alcohol, that ain't my business. Yeah, man, you love yourself. I can love me some vitamins, ice cream. But we can have different opinions, and that's what Charlie Kirk stood for. But he was silenced, and he was silenced by these liberal people who more and more in this world are showing themselves to be the bad guys. Pretending to be the good guys, but showing themselves to be the bad guys more and more. All right? And if you don't believe what they believe, beware. All right? So I just wanted to say that, that his wanting there to be more dialogue by encouraging more and more young people to start being interested in this stuff. We wish we had that in our country, and maybe that's something that we should focus on. But he spurred them to believe in that, and he was not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Like I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. In fact, our government just voted against Israel again, publicly, but that's on them. But our government just voted on Israel. Voted against Israel. That's the administration. All right, so that's on you. All right, so we'll see where that goes. But I think they are mature enough to understand what's happening in this world. All right, but I'll leave my global opinions there. But I just wanted to say, I want to continue with that tradition of giving people a voice. It's the same way I did on my talk shows. I would let people come on who differed from me and let them speak. All right? But I still do it. I encourage people to come and talk every Sunday. If you differ from me, come and bring your piece. We're not ashamed. We're not hiding. We want to have this dialogue, and that's why we're here. So I just wanted to put that piece in there before we get started. The fact that the political assassinations are happening, I pray that it doesn't come to this country, and I hope there's no retribution. But that's where the world is going, and we gotta stay prayed up. All right. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bain, for that, and thank you again, studio audience, for being here. We're excited to see your beautiful faces, and I'm sure you're excited to see the beautiful candidates. What we're gonna do now, we have several different categories that these candidates are gonna talk about. They're gonna share in their expertise. We're just going to have conversation. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be provocative. It's going to be a lot of things, okay? So you just sit back, get your water, get whatever you're drinking, and join us. Thank you for allowing us into your home. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What we're going to do now is turn it to the candidates. We're going to ask that you introduce yourself, tell us what area you are running in, and a little bit about who you are.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, audience. Good evening, the wider audience. My name is Donna Dorset Major. I'm sure a lot of you know me from around the course, or know of me or heard of me. And I am the candidate for the great constituency of Elizabeth.
Woo.
Now, I would like to say to my constituents that I share your pain. I walked the streets yesterday and I saw the damage from the tornado. I walked the streets, I literally saw it firsthand. And I share your pain. However, I'm proposing to each of you who don't have house insurance to please call me at 801-0655. And I will personally be making an application to social services to have your home fixed. Because if they could give the Haitians $1,500 housing allowance, they can give Bahamians assistance with fixing their homes, okay? Furthermore, I would like for someone in the government to tell me how much money we have in the disaster relief fund. Okay, because that should be a provision for catastrophes such as this one.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The Bahamian people in my constituency should not have to be putting just tar paper or patching up their roofs or suffering, putting buckets on the ground like I went in and saw. Okay, if we're assisting the Haitians with $1,500 a month rental income, I would personally go to social services with people from my constituency for twice as much.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
You got my vote.
Well,
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Yes. I just have a quick question. Was social services out there?
No, they were not. They were not. I didn't see them.
So they wasn't out there like how they was in the shanty town?
Oh, no.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Not at all.
So
maybe if that had gone through the shanty town, social services
yes.
would have been there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
They would have been there in full
Oh,
force.
yes. Oh, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I don't want people to think that we don't know what it was. They said it was a microbust. It's a difference between a tornado and a microbust. You can check it on Google. So a lot of people like to grade us when we say things. So I want you to know that be aware that it was a microbust and that happened in the Eastern District. Okay, you sir, could you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit. It's already starting hot, okay? Get your papers out. It's already hot because I'm hot. Let's go, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and especially to my constituents in Southern Shores. My name is Kirk Farrington, and I am a former police officer and as well as a pastor, apostle of a congregation. We have a congregation, Philadelphia Seventh-day Apostolic Ministries. But I want to say that I'm one that was not interested in politics and had not voted for the past 8 elections.
Wow.
And I find that to be something, I mean, it's kind of strange how that I got into it now. But as I walked the streets in Southern Shores, I came across a number of persons who were saying the same thing, that they're not voting, and I let's listen to their reasons and what have you, and reassure them. I feel their pain. I understand what you're saying, and I understand why you're saying what you're saying. But I want you to understand that I'm speaking from experience because I've been there. I've been there for 40 years on the sideline, and just coming forth. Why? Because I was sent to do it. And I'm here not just to be or to raise a campaign or run a campaign, but I'm here to run a movement that is rooted in righteousness, truth, and justice. And it is my aim and it is my intentions to make sure that righteousness, truth, and justice returns to this nation and also to the constituents that we have. Because there are challenges and there are challenges all through this nation. And the one thing that I found folks saying to me as I go, what are you all going to be doing about the fact that they say that we are a Christian nation, but this nation had gone so far away from the Father, they are wondering what is going to be done. And I say again, I am here and I believe with all my heart I've been sent to run a movement or to front a movement that is rooted in righteousness, truth, justice, and integrity. And so I say in closing, I'm here with you, Southern Shores. I'm here with you, the wider scope of this nation. And together we shall stand and bring this country back to where it belongs.
Thank you so much. As you can see, I think we're going to need part 2 of this because these people are excited. They are just running with this, okay? So the first thing we're going to grade is the Attorney General and Legal Affairs. Attorney General and Legal Affairs. That's the first thing we're going to grade today. No, you can. Who's going to go first?
Okay, I'll go first since they want me to go first. You know, first of all, I think that the person that they chose for Attorney General was probably the least impressive person that you could have chosen. I don't think I know of him having any court experience or any real legal experience. I think that Donna could run circles around him. I think he'd lived in the United States for most of his life until he came here to run and had to give up his dual citizen in order to do so. But I don't think that we've had any real reforms in this country. I don't think that we've had swift justice, and I think that the courts are in a disarray. And I know that the Chief Justice and other persons have some responsibility there too. But I don't see where the Attorney General's office is doing what they are supposed to do and bringing leadership to this country and legal affairs. There's a lot of things that we're going to offer, changes we're going to offer the people to change it. But so far I can say from the office of the Attorney General and legal affairs in this country, our court system is in shambles. All right? It is in shambles. People feel like they aren't getting justice. There's a lot of scandals as it relates to certain things, and people generally don't trust our court system. So in terms of any reforms to reforms our court system, I would definitely give them a fail. And for me, that's an F.
It's an F. It's an F.
Now, me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give them a big fat F, and I'll tell you why. First of all, my experience has been one that's been very troubling. And whenever you stand up for righteousness around the court, you are, I would say, prosecuted and persecuted. And so that has been my experience. Mr. Ryan Pinder.
Well, the name. Okay.
Yes, he is the AG. I'm not calling his name for any type of corruption.
No.
What I'm saying is he has been inadequate as the Attorney General. Okay. And that's because my personal opinion is his hands were tied. Okay? His hands were tied. And a perfect example of his hands being tied. Anybody could tell me who was the Prime Minister in 2023?
Brave.
Okay. In 2023, the act with respect to the business license was changed, was amended by Mr. Brave, Philip Brave, under his administration. Okay? And you know what it was amended to?
What's that?
You know what they took away from us as Bahamians?
What's that? Tell us.
They took away the right to own businesses, and if a foreigner wanted to own a business in the Bahamas, they had to have a Bahamian partner. But they basically took that right away and allowed foreigners to come into this country and own a business without Bahamians.
Wow.
Okay, that's why we see all these landscaping businesses owned by Haitians. Okay? All of the landscaping business, all of the construction businesses, we now see. And another thing, I looked at the legislation the other day, and you needed to show that you had some skill or degree in construction. Like, references to show how many houses you built before that law was changed. Now you need absolutely nothing.
Wow.
All you do is go online, and if you think I'm joking, try it. Fill out a form, say you want a contractor's license, and no experience needed. They don't ask you about experience. They don't ask you about your qualifications. Wow. And so here we have all these foreigners around here with all these licenses for as contractors, opening up all kind of businesses, and totally wiping the Bahamian out of the circle. Okay? And so Brave Davis didn't just start to think about how he was going to disenfranchise Bahamians. He thought about that a long time ago. Wow. And he's been making those provisions from 2023, changing legislation. And so my thing is, and not only that, the committees that they form, they select, he's the one that selects these people to spare these committees. So we need to change our system to republic so you and I make decisions as who sits on these boards. Wow. That's my suggestion.
Yeah. Wow.
Take the power from them and put it in the hands of the people.
I also want to add that the Attorney General was so focused at the beginning of their term on attacking Bahamians on the well fields. They were spreading lies and deception about the situation down there, outright lies. They were threatening and saying you have 15 days and all this kind of stuff. They did all of that, and we told them, come on down. You know, we'll be waiting. And of course, they had to backtrack because they know that what they were saying and pushing was lies. The minister backed off, and so the Attorney General stepped up and they were using him to say what they wanted to say and try to intimidate the public. But for the Attorney General of the country to be a part of that and for them to send the military tanks and machine guns onto Bahamians and Crown Island. And at that time, they had not touched any shanty down. I also given them a fail because when they got in, we were the ones telling them that all they had to do was take this back to court. All right? They didn't want to do anything. They were pretending that their hands were tied. But one, the administration always say, well, the government stopped us. That is a lie. The government didn't stop them. The courts. The courts, all they had to do was appeal it. But it's just that that's the decision they wanted. So they could use the courts as an excuse. That was the Supreme Court telling them, hold off. All they had to do was appeal to the Court of Appeals. And then if it didn't work, appeal to the Privy Council. But no, the minister didn't appeal. They just said, oh, the court say, we got to leave them alone. That's what they wanted. And when Brave them got in, they used the same thing. Oh, well, it's an injunction. The court say, take it back to court. But after we protest and we forced their hand and we got locked up, then they were forced to take it back to the court. And what do you see happen? It had to be lifted. All right? So I gave him a fail for that too.
Okay. Thank you for that. Before you start, we're going to grade the Ministry of National Security and Immigration. And if you can, please, time person, could you give us an extra 3 minutes? We only have 3 minutes.
Talk fast.
Okay? We only have 3 minutes. So we're going to talk now about the Ministry of National Security and Immigration, and I'm going to allow you to speak now. Pastor, Apostle.
Thank you. As far as the Ministry of National Security is concerned, I think the most important thing is the protection of our borders. And that, I think that there's a failure in that area. We sat and listened to we had a town hall meeting on no, not the parliamentary registrar, the one we had at the school, about that where they opened up the country, the borders of the country, and they're saying that anyone can come into the country and you can't touch them, okay? And if you were to arrest any of them or hold any of them, all you have to do is say asylum.
Oh, really?
And let them go.
Wow.
Okay? And that I find to be a problem. I mean, when you can open up the borders of the country and allow anyone to come in, even if that person is a criminal, allow them to come in and without any problems, that is a problem, because it weakens our line of security. It weakens our abilities to even defend ourselves, because giving anyone access into the country is a serious problem, you know. And if I were to grade the national security, I would fail them for that. If only for that reason, I would fail them.
Okay. Wow. So that's an F as well.
That's an F plus F.
Wow. Wow. Do anybody else
F
have
plus means that's better than an F.
Plus F.
So that's better than an F.
Letter F minus F.
We're having a time on this set today, and I'm going to allow you to say something as we wrap this part up.
Okay, I'm going to be quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I give them an F also. The Minister of National Security needs to step up to the plate. When we look at the crime rate in our country, it's at an all-time high, and we need to protect our sovereignty. We need to protect what we have, the relationship we have with the United States. And if we keep it like this, the United States is going to soon ban us. Okay? And put restrictions on our visas. Because we're allowing these people to come into our country, carry our names by default, and commit all kinds of serious crimes. And we're not increasing the penalties. That's all I have to say.
She said a lot.
Okay?
I want to agree with you, Donna, on that. And I think this is very important for Bahamians to realize that because we are allowing these people to come in and allowing this scandalous stuff to happen with our papers, it's going to hurt Bahamians. I want you all to wake up. We used to get indefinite visas.
Yeah.
We used to get indefinite visas. I had one, all right, when I was young. And it was taken away from us after we started letting all these other people from these other countries come. Letting the Haitians come in, all right, to be frank, all right? And so now we see all kinds of other things happening. They're charging more money for visas because of these people. Remember when we had Dorian Trump made a statement, Trump said that I love the Bahamians. I would like for them to come, but because they're letting these Haitians come in, and they close the border. And now you see what American officials are saying, that our borders are too slack and too lax. And because we got these people coming here, it's going to hurt us because our governments are giving them papers, and so the American government doesn't know who is who. You are going to find it more and more difficult to get your visa. You're going to be like Jamaicans, find it difficult to get visas. And in fact, it has already started. A lot of Bahamians are being denied visas. It started happening since, on a serious scale, since this administration.
Wow.
There's denials like crazy. It doesn't make the news, but a lot of people are being denied visas. Y'all hearing about that?
Yes.
That is because y'all are letting these people come in and get papers and mix and do all this kind of stuff. Bahamians, you have to protect your sovereignty and protect your nation. Yeah, we love everybody else. But listen, if you keep hanging around bad company and people start to tell you can't come in here or you can't come in there, that's because of the company you keep. All right? Yes, there are good people from there. There are good people from China. There are good people from everywhere.
Yeah.
But we're not responsible for the bad ones or the good ones. We are responsible for our good and bad. That's our people. If our people bad, that's our bad people. We got to deal with them. I don't have to deal with your rude children.
Right.
I got to deal with mine.
Right.
All right? And so this mixing up is a problem. And I want you to understand how serious this is. Your children almost couldn't get visa to go to school.
Wow.
Why do you think this is happening? Y'all better wake up before it's too late. Last thing I want to say is about the Minister of National Security. This man is so focused on defending criminals that he is causing this country to fall apart. He is more focused on defending them and their issues. The man talked about a sentence of 4 years being too harsh for a man who raped a little girl. Raped a little girl, a 12-year-old little girl. Let me tell you something, y'all would have to lock me up.
I know.
Right? A 12-year-old little girl. And then he's going to make a nasty statement by saying the girl gave consent.
What?
That's what the man said. The 12-year-old girl gave consent. You see, when you have these criminal lawyers running your country, crime is going to, they're not going to take bread out of their own mouth. So they're not going to put anything in place that's going to hurt their clients. So I just wanted to say that. Wake up. The gang violence is erupting. It's getting worse. And it's because the politicians are involved in the crimes. I've been telling you all that. Now you see, because of what America said with that indictment, you're seeing it happen. Let me say this to you again. The politicians are involved in the crimes, and the criminals who are doing the crimes, the drug dealers, etc., they are doing it with permission of the politicians. Lastly, the United States is also concerned over the fact that drug dealers and criminals are getting government contracts to launder their money. They're getting contracts to build government housing. They're getting contracts to build government buildings, schools, etc. And so that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem. And every time the PLP becomes the government, this kind of stuff happens.
So I have one question before I let you guys go. A lot of people are saying COI is just anti-Haitian, right? Anti-Haitian. What about the Chinese? What about, you know, the Africans and the other people? What do you have to say about that? What about the other people? Is COI just anti-Haitian? What is it that you would like to say to the Bahamian people?
That's a very good question. I think you have to deal with the most pressing issue first. The thing is, I don't see, while I see Chinese buying properties from Bahamians, and so the Bahamians are benefiting from that transaction because they choose to sell out. If you buy a product and you sell it, you had some benefit, right?
Right.
So the Chinese are buying up properties. They're not stealing them. They're not taking them. They're not squatting on them. They're buying them up from Bahamians. That's a problem that we want to also fix by empowering Bahamians so they don't have to sell out their land. But I don't see the Chinese on the news telling people how to vote. I don't see them trying to affect our politics. I don't see them threatening us by, oh, election coming soon, we could deal with you all. I don't see that. I don't see the Chinese trying to become me. I don't see them trying to take my names and trying to replace us. All right? That is a threat, but it's not as urgent a threat as this country being flooded by people who outnumber us and are trying to become us. They're becoming bold and they are making statements. See, I got passport, I voted. They're showing you the voter's card. They are becoming bold and they're becoming out there. And so we have to remember what's going to happen. Look at what happened where they're from, and that is a picture of what's going to happen here if we let them take over.
Right.
Now, do we hate Haitians, etc.? No, we don't. We don't have a problem with any race, man. We don't want to close the borders to everyone. We want you to come here, but come here the right way. That is it. Just come here the right way, and we have no problems. Come here to the front door. I don't think any Haitian would want to wake up in the middle of the night and meet someone, come to the back door in their daughter room. Come knock on the door and ask permission to come inside. And you can come inside. We can say, we can hang out, we can do whatever. But don't come in my house through the back door, go in my fridge, you think you're entitled to use my bathroom and do everything in my house. All right? Then I'm a problem, I'm xenophobic if I tell you, how you get in my house? How you get here? You have a house. You ruin your house. You dirty up your house. But now you won't come to mine? Because your house too dirty? You go clean up your house. But all we want is for them to come here the right way. We have no problem with that. And we don't want to end up working for them.
Wow.
And we have a right to be put first in our country. But what is starting to happen is they're getting all the contracts, they're getting all the connections. Their politicians are in power. What's his name? Michael Pintard is still not showing me his birth certificate. I need to see his birth certificate. But I need to know because I checked the history of the name Pintard, and that name is square from Haiti. All right, the black Pintards is square from Haiti, so I need to see his birth certificate. We were told that the person he says is his mother, Miss Benson. is not his biological mother. And so we need him to show not just his birth certificate, but also his papers to show he was born in BMH. Because he was adopted by Miss Benson, all right? And we need to know, all right? I don't know why that needs to be a secret or why that's a problem for us to ask that. You want to lead the country, we need to know, all right? So Pintard needs to tell us who he is. Brave Davis has already said who he is, and so we don't have an issue there. We know that he says he is one of them. So that's not up for debate. So we don't have to say that that his birth mother also died when he was young, and his birth mother was Haitian, etc. So we don't have to go there because he didn't tell us that. Yes. All right? But Pintard is trying to hide from it. But we need to know who is who and what is what. So anyone want to ask me, I can tell you my ma is, who my pa is, who they ma and pa is, and who they ma and pa is. And all is Bahamians. And I can tell you what island all them from, and I can take you to the house. All right? I ain't got no problem with anyone asking me about my Bahamian heritage because I am all Bahamian. I am a proud, organic Bahamian. I am unapologetically Bahamian.
Bahamian. We thank this group for that. I mean, it was an exciting segment. We're going to take a little break as the other group gets mic'd up, but we want you to stay with us. Stay with us. We have a lot more grading to go on. Stay with us. We thank you for being with us, and let's continue.
They coming for our land. They coming for our money. They coming for our nationality. They taking away our sovereignty. But now it seems like they want to take away our voices. Do not let them take away your voice. So Fred Mitchell can call us all the idiots he wants. We will push forward. See, the problem with you, Fred Mitchell, you're used to people standing up to you and putting you in your place. Meet the Coalition of Independence. Louis George, what you need to do, you need to go back to Haiti and you need to sit up and look at what hate is. You need to look at what real fear-mongering is.
You see everything working out in their favor. They are taking all of our services and taking it to Shantytown and cater to them. We are saying this almost on a daily basis. These are people getting citizenship with the aid of the government. And these kinds of actions are causing it hard for Bahamians.
En bas, Wave Davis, c'est Prime Minister pour peuple haïtien. Attendez ça, Abdullah. Votez, register pour Wave Davis. Passez avec Wave Davis, now les net. It's better under the BLP, and it's getting better. The Bahamas are the
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dances. Because you are me and I am you. And I'll be here with you always. I don't call you all, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You're Bahamian and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later.
They coming for our land. They coming for our money. They coming for our nationality. They taking away our sovereignty. But now it seems like they want to take away our voices. Do not let them take away your voice. So Fred Mitchell can call us all the idiots he wants. We will push forward. See, the problem with you, Fred Mitchell, you're used to people standing up to you and putting you in your place. Meet the Coalition of Independence. Louis George, what you need to do, you need to go back to Haiti and you need to sit up and look at what hate is. You need to look at what real fear-mongering is.
You see everything working out in their favor. They are taking all of our services and taking it to Shantytown to cater to them. We are saying this almost on a daily basis. These are people getting citizenship with the aid of the government. And these kinds of actions are causing it hard for Bahamians.
En bas, Wave Davis, c'est Prime Minister pour peuple haïtien. Attendez ça, Abdullah. Votez, register pour Wave Davis. Passez avec Wave Davis, now les net. It's better.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Thank you again for having us in your home. This is part two, and we're talking to two amazing people here. And what I'm going to do is allow them to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about yourself. Don't jump into, all that other stuff. Tell me something about you. I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
The beautiful. Can I say the beautiful? Okay, go ahead.
I'm Dr. McIver. I'm a retired dentist by profession. And I have a very large family. Most people know a lot of my sisters. I wouldn't get into it tonight, but I am having my story come out very shortly in spurts, so people get to know who I am.
Yes.
My family's from Ackland, and so you'll get to know all of that. I have 3 lovely grandchildren. And and I never thought I would get involved in politics, but I could tell you, I realized that our country was going in the wrong direction. And I said, Ronnie, you've got to do something. And I believe part of it is also a God pull. Because there were times when I tried to run away.
Yeah.
And I felt like God was saying, where are you going? I need you. Come back over here.
Yes. Yes.
And so here I am. I'm offering myself to the Bahamian people. Being in politics, as you know, is not an easy road, but because you become servants to the people, you have to listen to them. They are employing you. Too many times we have governments who go in, who actually satisfy themselves. They're not even listening to the people. And they go in for self-satisfaction. No. When you go in, this is a sacrifice. And so for me, I have to pray about it as well. God have to strengthen me because I see the fight ahead, but I can tell the Bahamian people, Veronica McIver is prepared for the fight.
Yes. I love that. You can really hear the passion and you can hear the heart for Bahamian people. One question, Dr. McIver. What constituency are you in?
Oh, I'm in the great constituency of Killarney.
Yes.
And so,
Killarney in the house. Yes.
Yes. I hear all the fight about who running, who ain't supposed to be running, who can pull out. And I said, 3 candidates, 4 candidates. But I just want to let everybody know this candidate is going to win Killarney.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. And on the left of me is this handsome gentleman, and he's going to tell me and tell you his name and a little bit about himself and, you know, the constituency that he is running in.
Yes. My name is Christian Hasty. I am running in the amazing constituency of Central and South Luther. You finally have a choice.
Yeah.
You understand that they finally have a choice.
Wow.
Because I think they deserve a good quality candidate.
Right.
So it's really only one choice if you ask me. Now, as far as my story goes, I'm a young Bahamian. I spent a lot of time abroad. A lot of young Bahamians, you would see that they go abroad, you want to come back home. I've been having those conversations, but you can't come back home.
Right.
So the conversation always is, I say, hey, but look at the state of our country. And they say, well, that's why I can't go. You want me to go back to the Bahamas, where I can make crumbs?
Wow.
That's what you want me to go back to, bro? You know what I mean? I'm saying bro right now because that's what the conversation
Yeah, we just have it, yeah.
Right? You say, yeah, he ain't good. My job don't even exist soon. But if my job do exist, let's say I give you a number. I make it $75,000 annually. When you come to the Bahamas, for the first thing I'll offer you and say, well, I tell you, I give you 28. How about that?
Wow.
So, logically speaking, are you going to tell your loved one to take that deal? That's a no deal.
No.
Right? So I go back where I was. And then when they come on the mic and say, boy, these young Bahamians are lazy, eh? Well, is it that we really lazy?
No.
So, exactly. So, I said I had a lot of critiques what's wrong with our country, especially in regards to young Bahamians and we want to return. So I said, well, listen, I had to put my money where my mouth is. And I had to step up.
Wow.
Politics. So,
excellent.
I never grew up with, I want to be a politician, I want to be a politician. It's just that I had a heart for Bahamians and I have a heart for the country. And I know that we could do so much better.
Right.
I think it's a hurting feeling. No, I want to say this. I think it's a hurting feeling, right? As a parent, let me talk to the parents for a second.
Go right ahead.
You want to make a sacrifice. You have to think to yourself, gosh, how do I put food on the table?
Wow.
How do I pay these bills? Okay, what if you have medications? Okay? These hard decisions, and they go in there, they line in their pockets. That's a hurting feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I fighting back the tears right now.
Wow.
Okay, I go back for a moment. I cry about it later, but I think it's just nasty to see. So I just don't like the way that our BNP was being treated, and I wanted to speak on that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I ran a little bit.
That's fine.
But we get to our topic.
Yeah. And obviously you can hear the passion. I'm just, you know, in between them, and I'm gleaning and absorbing all of this. And these are regular Bahamians who he came back home to help and push the Bahamas into the new Bahamas. She felt the pull of God to say, you know something, you've been playing, come do this thing. And they're here. They submitted themselves and they're here for you, to serve you, the Bahamian people. So obviously, after you've heard those beautiful introductions, you know exactly where and what they will be talking about. So we're going to be talking about the Ministry of Health and Wellness. So we're going to be grading the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
So,
who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Give it a zest.
Listen, when we were asked to grade, I wanted to know what were the letters. So I was trying to figure out E and F, and I wanted to know, well, is there a G that you can give?
Okay.
So, all right, but I'll be objective.
Okay.
I'll be objective. Listen, you all know health is very important in the Bahamas.
Yes.
It is more important, I believe, than all the other ministries we're going to talk about today. And you know why? Because if you don't have your health, you can't go to the other ministries.
Wow.
And human resource is the most important subject in the Bahamas. Right now, our governments, they put more emphasis on infrastructure and roads and bridges than they do into the health of their people. And right now, health is severely, severely underfunded. I am so sorry that they're doing this to my Bahamian people. People are coming to me every day with stories because they know that I am the shadow minister of health, and I will be sitting in the chair of power when I get there to make decisions. They're telling me things like, but doctor, I hear that if you go in, you may not come out.
Wow.
And I said, you know, that's not a good thing for our people to be speaking about. Talking about us, our people.
Yes.
We shouldn't be having to have those conversations. And so
I want to chime in on that though. Having to go to the hospital, especially in terms of having a surgery, is a frightening experience.
Yes.
But when you add on top of that, that if you go in, you're not coming back out.
Wow.
Imagine what that does to your mental and your psyche going into that.
Exactly. And speaking about that, the equipment, all of you have heard where the equipment is not working. The MRI, the X-rays, there's a laser in neurology that wasn't working. There was a gentleman, I used to talk to him all the time, he was suffering in pain. They couldn't put him in surgery because they didn't have the laser.
Wow.
So they told him to seek private care. It would have been about $4,000. And guess what? He didn't even have $4,000. So things like that, I feel like it is disgraceful. I even spoke to persons in the eye center. Let me tell you all something what's going on in the Bahamas. I've had physicians and nurses speak to me privately. They would never come forward. But they said it is true that the equipment that the hospital needs, they are not providing it. And you know what that does? That causes us to go out into the private and seek. So the private physicians are making more money at the expense. That is not right for our Bahamian people. And I can look in that camera and I'm going to tell my Bahamian people, Veronica Mackay is going to change that.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, for the last 2 years, I've been fighting along with a whistleblower in the dialysis unit.
Wow.
I have a lot of videos out there concerning that. Let me tell you all something. They are dialysizing those persons in allegedly expired machines.
Wow.
How can you do that? I've even seen videos where the beep goes off. You know, like when your phone goes off in Marco's alert?
Yeah.
The machine will go off like that, beep, 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 to tell you that something is wrong. They have to come there and fix the machine while you're on the machine. That should never, never happen.
You know,
go ahead.
I got a question for audience right in front of me and watching live. Where does your MP go when they need to see healthcare? So guess what? I know we're supposed to grade them, but they're grading themselves. Why don't you go where you run it? Central Salud, where does he go when he needs to seek healthcare?
Wow.
Tell me where in that area does he go?
Right, because when our Prime Minister got ill with COVID, you notice he went away.
Yeah.
He didn't even stay in Nassau.
Yeah.
And so he went to Atlanta, right? Exactly.
So guess what? Although I don't give them a Z, I feel like they're telling you how they grade their own work. So if you wouldn't go to your own healthcare facility, what does that tell you?
Wow.
So I don't even have to give the grade. They telling us their own grade.
Yeah.
So the coalition, no, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. The coalition independence, we're going to be able to stand on our work.
Yeah.
Say that.
You know, I love the enthusiasm of this young man. By the way, Central and South Eleuthera. Let me tell you all something.
Speak to them, yes.
Sway and I forgot the name of the other lady. Who's it?
Kelly.
Miss Kelly, back on the side. There's a new
sheriff in town. A new sheriff. Yeah. Tell them.
There is a new sheriff in town.
Yes.
This man
Absolutely.
he has a lot of zeal. He has a lot of
Mustard man
energy.
gone, ketchup woman gone. I mean that.
Yes.
I'm objective, so my best advice is to team up.
Yeah.
I'm an objective young man.
Okay.
I have a question though. On social media recently, we would have seen, I know a lot of people have seen that post of the lady that had to be transported on the back of that, was it a truck? In the rain. Could you guys speak to that please? Because that is unacceptable in this country.
Listen, look here. That was Long Island, right? Yes. In Long Island, do you all know that? You all remember the Darvel had bought about 14 or 15 ambulances recently. They were standard shift, or some people call it stick shift. They paid $1.4 million for it. They had to borrow that. You mean to tell me our government treasury don't even have $1.4 million in it? You have to go borrow that? Why would you borrow that money and we're still not using the ambulances properly because they don't have people to drive them? Let me tell you something. That ambulance in Long Island still has bubble wrap on the seat. It still has grass growing around the tires. Can you imagine? And guess what else? There was a little paper inside that said Eleuthera. They even probably sent it to the wrong island.
Wow.
I'm assuming that. So this is disgraceful.
Yes.
It's sitting there and it's not even being any good. Plus that the ambulances are so tiny, they were the wrong ambulances for the Bahamas. That was $1.4 million they wasted.
Wow.
I felt so bad about that.
Again.
And let me say, we're going to have ambulances that can get to people within 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Right now, our ambulances sometimes are taking 30, 40 minutes to get to where they're going. If in a first world country, you should get to your destination within 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Let's say I'll give 15 minutes grace. But that should never, ever happen in the Bahamas again.
Yes. And we're not just talking about the problems, we have solutions. Okay? We're not just, highlighting all the problems and grading all the problems. We're going to come with solutions. And I want you guys to add solutions that the COI is going to come up with when we come into power. What are the solutions to these problems?
Well, what I would like to say is we need to have a 24-hour emergency center. I'm talking surgery center and a major hospital, right? Because the way I see it right now, something better happen to you within time. Because if it's overnight, something like that, that's it for you. And I think that's so sad. Because how could you disregard human life that way? Is that what they really think about? Wow. So my relatives, anybody, something simple. People lose their lives because they couldn't get blood in time.
Wow.
That's unheard of in the U.S. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Or they jump all over that. That's easy money. So the Coalition of Independence, we're working on processes, like I said. We're going to get adequate ambulances. They're going to be standard.
Yeah.
We're going to have traffic staff trained on those things.
at the hospital. Okay, I don't know, we had a little audio technical difficulty just now, but let me just recap quickly because I know time is running out on our session. But I just want to let the Bahamian people know that, to me, the PLP is deceiving the Bahamian people by saying that they're building this new hospital, a specialty hospital, which is for pregnancy and child health. And they may put the blood bank or morgue in there and maybe some diagnostics. It is not a general hospital. The Bahamas need a general hospital where you're going to treat cancer, orthopedic surgery, where you're going to take care of people with heart attacks. If you go into surgery, just general surgery for a male or a female, all of that needs to be done in a general hospital. None of that will be done at this specialty hospital. The only thing they're going to be doing at this specialty hospital is delivering babies, and you know who have the most babies here. I'm not going to be prejudiced. And child health, they would have a diagnostic center where you can take some x-rays, but don't let them fool you. They are deceiving the Bahamian people. We need a general hospital. I'm going to say one more thing. Consultants came down from Texas, told the PLP and the FNM, the Princess Margaret Hospital needs to be destroyed and dismantled. They did not listen to the consultants from Texas. They are still going to be patching up the Princess Margaret Hospital. Right now, sewer water sometimes come down on the dialysis unit. Oh my goodness. It is not right what is happening at our facility. And listen here, one of the things that I'm going to do is work with our human resource. Our nurses are leaving us. We have to bring them back. All of the physicians who are head of departments in hospitals abroad, they're going to have the first chance to come back to help me build a new hospital. And we are yes, we're going to have to pay them handsomely if we want good health care. My people deserve the best. And God knows that we are going to find the revenue to build that hospital. Even if I got to lay the first brick myself, I'm going to be right there with that mortar and that brick. I'm going to do that myself. But this has to be done. My people deserve better.
And I would like to add, this is a basic need. We need this. Why is being treated like a luxury?
Exactly.
All these things that we need being treated like luxuries. And if you were serious about building a general hospital, that should take about 2.5 years, maybe 4. You probably push to 5 if you were serious about it. The question needs to be, why would you wait towards the end of your term? That seems like you're not serious about your job.
Yes.
It seems like you're not serious about the Bahamian people. So,
and the last thing I want to say is, if you notice the PLP, all of their projects, you notice it's shovel in the ground. You all notice they haven't gotten past that stage. Everything is shovel in the ground and a beautiful picture with PR, but nothing comes out. As a matter of fact, even the hospital in Freeport was coming out of the ground barely for years. Nothing is happening. And before we leave, I would like to have Mr. Hasty speak on mental health. We do have a problem with mental health. A lot of people are going through stress in the Bahamas, and they've just passed a law, an act, to help people in mental health. So if you want to speak a little bit on mental health.
Talk a little bit about it. When you look at the conditions of our country, right, high cost of living, poor quality of food, not active, very active lifestyle. All of these things takes a toll on your mental health.
Right.
You have apathy. I feel like a lot of Bahamians now, because of all these stresses, are living a life on autopilot. Right. And so once you check out, the next step is to physically check out.
Right.
I'm going to say that's a harsh word to say right now.
Gotcha.
And so we need to start. One of the first things, guys, what therapy looks like.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with you if you have to seek either a therapist or a psychiatrist, right? If something's wrong with your hand, you go see a hand doctor. Sometimes the mind gets ill, so you go and see a mind doctor.
Yeah.
Okay? And you can heal yourself. So I think we can start implementing meditative strategies on de-stressing, on how to calm your nervous system as well. So.
But I think also the taboo
of mental health in the country, we really need education on that. And people need to be educated because it's a sickness. You know, anyone can have it. And being somebody who had to seek therapy, you know, after you see the top, people don't want to talk about it because they're afraid to be victimized, or they're afraid for someone to feel that you have something wrong with you. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You know, depression, people go through that. People go through a whole lot of stuff. As you live, you go through a whole lot of stuff. So we need to take the stigma away from that. And most definitely, I don't know if you guys are going to do it, but I'm going to suggest removing the name of Sandilands. I'm so sorry, I really don't like that name. If we can get rid of that name, you know, because, you know, you make people feel so isolated, like it's just a me problem. And it's not a me problem, it's a we problem. So I am so happy you guys are speaking on these things. I don't know if you have anything else to say before you guys exit, but this was awesome.
Oh, absolutely, I do. I know we're supposed to give a final grade. I will say this. If they will not go to their own healthcare facility, they've graded themselves. And I'll end on that note.
I was looking for a letter. I couldn't find. Okay, all right. Okay, let me be objective. I said D minus minus. Is that 3? Can you do D minus minus minus? And I'll tell you why I said D minus minus instead of F. I could tell you one thing. Dr. Darville did start an initiative for wellness. I am objective. Wellness is something that's very important for us, for the Bahamian people. The problem that he is having is that that program is underfunded and he's not executing that program properly. When I become the minister, she say he's all time. When I become the Minister of Health, that particular initiative will get more funding because yes, we do have to educate our people on being healthier. Our single mothers who have children, I'm going to make provisions for them to be able to exercise. If not on the parks, I'll find a way because they need somewhere for their children to go. And I will, single mothers, well, all mothers, but mostly the single mothers who have a lot of work to do. They have children when they come home, they have to prepare food. I'm going to make special provisions for you so that you can either walk, go to the gym or something. Trust me on that.
Okay. Listen, I wish you can see the Bahamian flags flying in the audience right now, but we are excited people. We are very excited about what's upcoming in our country. We know the new Bahamas is just on the horizon. We see it, we smell it, we believe it, and we thank you guys for putting yourself forward. We thank you, we thank you. Give them another round of applause. So we're going to take a quick break. It's going to be a quick break, and we're going to have another exciting bunch come and join me. Thank you so much.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message from the COI.
If you see a bunch of these people coming from a country that is dangerous right now, that has been blocked by the Turks and Caicos, who is experiencing a crime wave because of them, who is now blocked by America, if we as Bahamians see our flag carrier being used to bring these people in, and other carriers, it's not just Bahamas Air, every day they're coming in, that Bahamians shouldn't say nothing.
Your evil, manipulative, wicked ways will not triumph over this nation.
Our country's under invasion. We can fix that. Dude deported out of the country, and then the next day, he fell, approve a work permit for him. This is the kind of nonsense that's going on in this country. That's why America has a problem. 20% or less of that is actual Bahamians. So we're being outnumbered by birth and by persons flooding into our country. And Bahamians are sitting.
Thank you for sticking with us. Yeah. We're back. We're back. And we have another vibrant team, and we have some with us right behind us. I'm sure you're going to see it on your screen, and we're excited about this. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself to the Bahamian people, and then shortly after, you.
Yes. Well, my name is Graham Weatherford, and I'm from 3 islands, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera. And I feel like actually 8th generation. And I kind of feel like Jonah because I never really wanted to be seriously into politics. In 2012, I ran independent in Montague. And I'm quite sure that I'm part of the team that removed the incumbent. Because in 2007, I voted for a woman, a PLP granddaughter, in a red shirt, Kong Salad. But by 2012, I realized that wasn't going to work. So I had to run independent because I didn't like either side. Because either side makes me choose to oppress and fight the other side. So which side do you want me to choose? So I'm right here in the middle with the COI, which is Coalition of Independents. I've actually done a lot of the things that I speak about. When I talk about energy security, and we will, we talk about affordability, transport, reliability, and sustainability. We don't have any of that. And without energy security, without health, you can't even have energy. But without energy, you can't have health. So the number one thing I feel in the country is you have to get the cost of energy down, brings down the whole cost of living and everything and misery. So that's a little bit about who I am. I'm a businessman in the Bahamas. And, if we don't fix it, if we don't, I've had COI's changes here. I've been saying, let's fix the Bahamas. So it's the same thinking.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it, someone's going to fix it for them. Because if you don't fight for the country, you don't deserve it. But that could be said to us, or it could be said to foreigners. Because it appears other people are fighting for our country. So,
And so which area are you in?
well, I'm running for St. Anne's, Montague, whatever they want to cut it up, chop it up, and call it. That's where I was born, that's where I live, and that's where I have a business, and I'm not leaving. I've noticed a lot of politicians, as soon as they get in, they move from wherever to on top of the hill, out west. Now, how you know about the water out, the light out, and everything else in an area, and you don't live there? You should be forced to live where you're running for as long as you're running there. Now, after you leave, you could go where you want. But don't talk about you representing Long Island and you living up in Freeport, or it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like me, I know the light was out for 16 hours in Montague over the last 2 days, but that was a storm. But how could that be possible when my brother lives in Toronto and he'd been there 40 years and only ever had 5 minutes of the power being out? And they have ice storms that freeze up the wires.
Yeah.
So what are we doing wrong?
Yeah. So I'm going to turn it to you, Guy.
Yes. My name is Brian Roll. I am the candidate for Golden Isles with this great party, the Coalition of Independence.
Yes.
I'm a family man. I am a person, free thinker. Yes, I speak my mind. I'm fearless. I'm a godly man. And I just believe in doing what's right. And again, the country that we live in, this country is so rich, and this country has a lot of potential, but poor leadership right now is what have us stagnant, and a lot of times, we think about that young president of Burkina Faso, that man, he is amazing. The whole world right now are just amazed of what this young man is doing. He brought Burkina Faso, he took them out of debt. And, and he's just a person who is so interested in his people and his country.
Wow.
And that is all you need. All you need is the right leadership to care about the people. And we could progress.
Yeah.
We have everything. These islands are so, God blessed us. He have us strategically placed where we are. Our channels, ships have to pass our waters and airspace. God, like I said, God has placed us strategically in a position where everyone here, we are wealthy. But again, it falls on leadership. And for what we've been getting for over 50 years, it's not working. Like Graham always say, let's fix the Bahamas.
Let's fix it. Yes.
I'm in the technical field for about 36 years.
Wow. As you can see, another passionate bunch. I don't know if, producer, do we have someone else online that needs to speak or no? No? Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just name off all of the areas, and then I'm going to let you guys just go because I don't want to hold you back. But we might have to stick a pin in some things.
Yeah.
But we're going to just let you go.
We do the speed round.
Yeah. Okay. So what these two are covering are the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, Ministry of Energy and Transport, Ministry of Housing and Urban Renewal, and the Ministry of Disaster Risk Management. I think I would like to start with that one in lieu of what happened just over the weekend. If you don't mind,
No, we don't mind.
we can talk about that real. Who's going to go first?
Want me to go?
Okay.
Okay.
So disaster recovery. Well, I thought we were doing some grading, but let's save
Yes,
it.
we're grading.
You want to save it to the end?
We're still grading, and we have educators. I want you to know that we do have educators actually grading this. I don't know if we're grading on the curve, are we? Or we just, no, we're not. Okay, so I was trying to help, so we're not doing that. Okay, let's go. Okay.
So disaster recovery, right? In my opinion, I've watched the last truly 30 years, and I don't see a serious vision for it. Let me give you one example. When we had Hurricane Joaquin or Jocelyn, depending on how you want to say it, that was an embarrassment itself for Long Island. What happens right after a hurricane? If a hurricane were to hit Long Island, come up to Exuma, hit the capital, and go over to Florida, who's coming to help us right away? We need to have things in place to help us as soon as the wind dies down. So in Long Island, you have hills. Why didn't we dig into the hill and create a small bunker to put essentials, canned tuna? It'll keep me alive. It's protein, right? You can't put things that will spoil. Tuna lasts, what, 6 months?
Very bad.
6 months to a year, right? Tuna, peanut butter. I can eat peanut butter. It's protein. Put essentials, water, and have a section of that hill that's cooled 24/7 with insulin. Because you have diabetics in Long Island who couldn't get assistance. And what if the wind's still blowing too hard to even get a plane down there or a helicopter? So we have to look at the whole medical facility set up in the islands, and that's a whole nother story we just heard. But we have to look at the disaster recovery. You know, in Abaco, why did we not accept help, right, from the world after Dorian? It's not, we keep hearing from political parties this Dorian was the worst thing ever. Great, it could have been the best response ever. So what makes you a hero or a zero is how you responded. How did we respond? The people in Abaco know exactly how we responded, and a lot of them haven't spoken. And I'm talking to them tonight. You need to talk tonight about how your party, because it was your party, treated you right after the hurricane. And Grand Bahama knows as well. And I don't want to get into it because if you have family from either place, you know exactly what kind of disaster recovery we didn't have. But at least you could throw out water and essential things to people until you can get the wind to die down and get in there with the proper equipment. And you should have high ground to put all of the healthcare systems. I like that mobile, could be hospital almost in case it's real trauma. You have that on the island. You put it in a high ground. You build a concrete structure to house it in so it'll withstand a hurricane so it can be out there. And you put a tractor next to it to push the road clear so you can get that ambulance to the people that need it. That right there, we could talk for hours. And there's people smarter than me that should sit down in a think tank. We need a think tank for all of these different departments, right? Ministries, so we can come with the nation's best ideas. And it doesn't matter if it's yellow or red, right?
No, it doesn't.
We put, was it NEMA? We put NEMA in a building, a metal building where the roof could blow off. So you want to grade that? And water come in and wet up all the equipment? You want to talk about disaster preparedness? How many millions did we pay at the airport? I know the leader's really good at remembering figures. Was it 20 million, whatever, for Doppler radar? For high-tech systems that can show you micro bursts. And it's up and running right now. Nobody even knows the website to go to look at our live radar from our Doppler radar. Just type in Bahamas live radar, and you'll see the one from our airport. That would have shown you the microburst. Well, planes have to be notified when they're coming in. It color codes stuff. So green, yellow, orange, red. And if you see a little circle big as your fingernail in red by the airport runway, that plane's not going to land there because it can drop out of the sky in a microburst or be forced down. So I put it to you that I think we spend incredible money to be to American FAA standards, right, for planes. Why didn't we use that same system? Because that reaches for most of the Bahamas. Why wasn't that used? And I like what the leader said. You could send a text message on Marco's alert at 2 in the morning. You can't tell me my roof's going to blow off? So you're talking about, that's a Z, man. What's the next one? Or if you're English, is Z.
Okay. Yes, I mean, and if I might add, you know, our people, you know, we really need to convince ourselves that we matter. You know, I mean, it's clear and evident that, I mean, the PRP and FNM, they don't care about us. I mean, for how they did the people of Abaco, you know, the president and the president, yes, and Freeport, the president and some others went to Abaco, and they discovered, the trailers filled with supplies. And, why? Why do they treat our people like this?
And bodies in the container. Mr. Bain had to go and film it.
And
I'm sure
flies.
you could have smelled it before you got there, but anyway.
So
were the morticians and tell you about what happened in that container? See, I'm not going to say it. The good people of Abaco should say it. And if they ever think about voting for that party again,
our
That's how you
people,
respect
our people need to wake up.
Yeah.
We need to be honest with ourselves and wake up to see that, hey, these people, they don't care about us. They don't. Let's be honest with ourselves. They don't.
So we're going to jump right into Ministry of Housing and Urban Renewal. Start with you.
Okay, again, these supposedly low-cost homes, they're not low cost. By the time you finish paying the mortgage, I've come across some of my constituents in the great constituency of Golden Isles. I've come across elderly women. I'm talking about elderly single women who were still paying mortgages. 70 plus year old women who are still paying mortgages.
Wow.
It's the cost of living is too high for us in this country. And seemingly they keep raising the bar. We're going to be pushed out.
You mean after they reduce VAT? It's still too high?
It's still too high. It's still high. They need to totally eliminate VAT. Totally.
speak into that. How could you?
Increase the price of goods.
You have three choices this election. You got 10% VAT on top of all the other duties and taxes, right? And we never talk about fees. Fees are the increase. I'll pick a gun license for those 30,000 Bahamians of all walks of life. It went from what, $20 to $50 to, yes. And for the boat owners and the fishermen, it went from what, $20 to $250 some dollars. That's over a 1,500% increase. So the fees are what you need to talk about too. But this election, it comes down to, you could choose for 10%, that's where you are. Or you could go back to Egypt at 12% with the other party. Or you could listen to this party at 0% VAT.
I think any right-thinking Bahamian would know exactly what they need to do.
And if I might add, we have a lot of single women who really need help and who really needs a home.
Parents.
Single parents,
Yeah.
yes. Something needs to be done. They need to be helped.
Yeah.
That comes to housing,
Yes.
which is your next point.
Yeah. And Dr. McGuire just spoke about the single parents. You know, we have a lot of single women, and you have some men out there who need help in this country, need relief in this country. People are on the beach, people are living with people, people are in cars, people need help. The burden is too heavy. But guess what? In the New Bahamas, we're not going to have this issue. Listen, you're going to go on the beach if you want to go on the beach. You're not going to have to be on the beach or live in your car. We're going to make drastic changes in this country that are necessary for our people to live above the places that we've been and we are, right? And so the next thing we're going to talk about is housing, real quick.
Really super quick with housing, right? You're looking at a house being built, right? It's a concrete house, right? I just wanted to verify that before I speak to it. How much do you pay for a government house here?
Anybody knows?
$500,000 over 3 years. I can tell you the house. I can tell you the house is 30. Sorry, I could tell you the house is 100,000, but when I don't tell you about the interest and insurance and everything is included. We need concrete houses, right? Not wooden houses.
Right.
Solid concrete houses that aren't going to blow away. Built properly on higher ground, not in swamp. Please stop building houses in swamp. Number 2. I showed you the video.
Yeah, you did.
Right now, there are prefab homes in China. You saw that video. Concrete home, right? How much do you think the house costs? The house is $3,000 and it's built in 2 days.
Wow.
You all could ask the leader. I'm sure he's seen it. I could build you a concrete house for $3,000 in 2 days. How long would it take to pay back $3,000? Even with interest and everything else, it's $20,000 if you got to get a loan.
Wow.
Most people could sell a right-hand drive. Most people could sell a and catch the transit system that's world-class and overhead and electric, just like the monorail in Disney World in Miami. It's so simple. The change is, look, man, you put every Bahamian in a house for $3,000 and a bill in 2 days. Only question then is, you need an acre of land. So if you have the acre of land, you're not putting one house on an acre of land. And at $3,000, you build in two. And the second one is going to bring you $100 a night on Airbnb.
Yeah.
How much that is a week? $700 a week US dollars. Who making $700 a week in tourism today? The tip. You could decide to build another house for $3,000 and another one. You'd be making thousands of dollars a week. I believe our deputy knows about how hoteling, yes. So $3,000 for a house in 2 days is built.
Wow.
All you got to do is pick out the furniture and how you want the draperies and inside to look.
Yeah.
You ever heard that from anyone in housing?
No.
In 52 years?
Yeah.
See, if you really cared about the people, it all comes down to what you said, caring about the people. You care about the people, say, look, how do I find a concrete house? Build it on high ground. It ain't going to blow away and the roof ain't coming off because it's concrete, right? And I need it built in 2 days. Because this single mother need to be in a house by the weekend. You believe that? A single mother, you ain't got to go to the minister, you ain't got to beg nobody and cry and do all that fool. Come see Department of Housing. You got $3 grand? What's 10%? So how much you need down? $300 down for your $3,000 house. It'll be on high ground in 2 days. You could move in next weekend. Now, I never hear anything like that from housing, but maybe I crazy.
Yeah. And I